And we are live. We are live on Facebook. Again, always surprises me, and I'm delighted. And poor Sonia, I caught her off guard. And she said, just 1 second, too late. We're here. So welcome everybody to For Frick's Sake Marketing Adventures with Carmel, where we give you tips, tricks, all about how to market your business, but also bring you some amazing people, just like this amazing queen. By the way, the search queen and the communication queen. We have done a live before, but let me introduce you to Sonia so that I could pay her justice so that we will know. Now, Sonia, I have one problem though. I'm not sure exactly how to pronounce your last name.
Patutski Raymond.
Patutski Raymond. Okay, it's the Patutski.
Potato.
All right, Patutski. So this is Sonia Patutski Raymond, also known as you can see on her name there, as the search queen, Google search expert, and recently become a Google partner, but we'll tell you more about that. Sonia is the founder of the Marketing Republic, which is her actual physical business, as in office business, an agency nationwide focused on getting clients, businesses found on Google by their ideal clients for the problems that they solve. Such a valuable tool. So she has successfully generated, now I'm nearly going to fall over this amount, 95 million. Let me say that again, 95 million in sales for clients since her business started less than 3 years ago. So pretty friggin' outstanding stuff. Sonia has honors degree in master's in marketing. And she's been in global marketing advertising industry for 16 years, although you don't look old enough to be that. And she has worked for some amazing brands like Guinness, Jameson, I mean, we are Irish, come on, Nestle, L'Oreal, and Special K, and that's only naming a few. But recently, or secretly, she's been given the name of the marketer with a huge heart. Now, if you're watching us on Facebook, guys, put in your comments and everything. If we can't answer them live, we will get back to you. If you're watching this on YouTube, make sure that you subscribe so that you can get even more of these tips and interviews with these amazing people. So, Sonia, tell us a little bit about you and how you became to be this friggin' amazing marketing queen.
Oh, bless you. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction. You are far too kind. You know I love you, Carmel. Bless you. I feel like you're like my aunt or something. That's how I, like, because obviously being in over in Australia and being Irish, it's like all of us kind of flock together. So
yes, we do indeed. Yeah.
So I love what you do. And thank you for having me. So yeah, I'm Sonia Patutski Raymond, and I am the director of the Marketing Republic. And my business has been running just under 3 years now, and it is 100% the most proudest achievement that I have to date. I have a team of 15 people, and we specialize in Google Ads, SEO, and predominantly restoring people's faith when it comes to Google search. So I absolutely adore what I do. And I know it sounds cliche, but I literally wake up every morning and feel so grateful for the business that I have created and the team that I have and the culture that I've created. And yeah, I feel like I'm living my best life. So it's great.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about, obviously from Ireland, as you say. So how long have you been in Australia now?
Nearly 8 years. So yeah, I'm a citizen as well. So yeah, I've been nearly 8 years now. Yeah. How about you, Carol?
Okay. Awesome. I've been here 30 something years, but that's okay. I've lived in Australia longer than I've lived in Ireland, and I still talk like this. So what made Sonia decide that enough's enough, I want to change, I want to go to Australia? So because what the audience quite often like to know is, because we have this illusion, there's Sonia, she has this friggin' amazing business, and you know she's so successful. And if you ever see any of the photos of Sonia, she's always glammed up and looking amazing. But you know, what made you decide? So sometimes there's not so great times, and we decide to have this big move. So what was that for you?
For me, in Ireland, I absolutely love where I come from, but predominantly our work ethic is incredibly strong. And when I studied my degree and master's in marketing, I really wanted to make sure I could have my hotshot job eventually at the end of the tunnel after 5 years of education. So I think for me, what it was, and why I moved to Australia, firstly was because my sister was over here, and I knew I was going to live in Australia since the age I was 16. So since the age of 16, and that was because it was just this massive pull that I had at one point, and I think it was when a lot of the Irish started moving to Australia in my generation. And I'm like, what's the goal with Australia? Like, oh, it must be amazing. And it sounded like the promised land anyway, coming from Ireland. So I was like, okay, yeah, so I'm definitely going to go, but it needed to be the right time. And for me, it just wasn't quite the right time. But when my sister fell pregnant with my niece, I was like, okay, I need to be there for the birth of my niece. I don't want to miss out on being an auntie. And yeah, I arrived 2 weeks before she was born. And it was the best decision I've ever made, like, honestly. But I have to admit, coming to Australia from Ireland, very little people would give you a shot, like, as in, oh yeah, you're on a holiday working visa, she'll be out again in 6 months, we're not going to hire her. So I literally walk the streets of Perth and I'm like, give me a shot. I have a degree, I have a master's in marketing, I've worked in all these brands across the world, like on global brands. And literally, I made it very clear, I want sponsorship, I want sponsorship, I want sponsorship. So I got my sponsorship and I got my permanent residency. And yeah, I feel very, very grateful for the opportunities that have been presented to me. So
Yeah,
it was
awesome.
predominantly to do with my career as well, like, and that
Yeah.
was as well as personal. So it was definitely the right choice. Yeah, I feel very,
Yeah.
very grateful to live here. Like, I really genuinely feel like people living in Australia, I think, as well, may take it for granted, but Australia versus like the quality of life back in Ireland is just no comparison, and it allowed me so many opportunities. So
it's definitely different. And I think as an expat, when you come out here, it's not that you don't, I'm like you, I love my hometown, I love Ireland, but nobody knows you here. So it's an opportunity to completely reinvent yourself from scratch.
Oh, so good.
Yeah,
Nobody
and
knows
nobody has any preconceived ideas of who you are or who you're not.
Or small town mentality. It's like, oh yeah, I know her. She's so and so's daughter. Yeah, they're all going to you. Yeah, do you know what I mean? They're all the normal town talk that you get. Yeah.
I know. And my poor father had 5 daughters. So, every time we turned around, somebody knew something. But yeah, it was a great opportunity to, because as I said, I came here 30 something years ago, to reinvent myself, although I didn't know who myself was at that time. I just knew there was something different. And like you, I didn't know I was going to go to Australia, but I knew from a small child I would never stay in my hometown. I just knew, there. So tell us, so as you say, you're so grateful to be here, and we'll go a bit deeper into some of your great achievements and your good news of late. But what is success to you? Like, what does Sonia wake up and decide that this is success? How do you measure that?
Honestly, how I measure it is like having a team around me that literally care just as much as me about the business, and like they treat me like family and I treat them like family. I mean, like, freedom to be able, like, because the business is at a stage now where I'm not needed in every single hat that is required to run a business. I have people that I can afford now to delegate that stuff out to. I don't have to be the bookkeeper. I don't have to be the accountant or the recruiter or all of those lovely jobs, which a lot of people don't speak about. So success to me is actually being able to afford to do everything that is needed to make the business run, so I can actually sleep at night. So because there has been sleepless nights growing a business, like, and we're constantly solving problems, and you say, oh yeah, I'm gonna set up my own business, set up my own show, I'll be my own boss, it's fab,
it sounds great.
It's incredible, live my best life, and then you get hit with problems that nobody told you about, and nobody and there's nobody to ask, and you have to figure out the answers, and you have to Google it and figure everything out yourself. And one of my favorite quotes is by one of the people I inspire most in business, and that's Marie Forleo: everything is figure outable. So if I go with that motto, I'll find the solution. But if I go with all the problems, I won't find the solution. So for every problem, there is a solution. And that is definitely the success for me of that business has been having that mentality and that mindset that has driven me through at times when it was very difficult to, you're challenged with your own like belief in yourself and can I really do this, imposter syndrome, am I really good as what I think I am, you know, all that jazz, like feelings of feelings of fear of judgment or fear of failure and what if I fail. But the thing is, what I don't think we understand enough of is there are laws of the universe, and for every action there's an equal opposite reaction. So you can't fail if you take the action. Like this is what we don't talk about. Like you cannot fail if you take the action. And honestly, if you don't take the action, then you will fail. And simple as that.
Yeah, well, because you just don't take it. I quite often used to teach some of my members that it's about taking the action. You get a result. Now, you can call that result failure, or you can say, is it effective or ineffective towards the outcome I want? If it's ineffective, okay, what do I need to change? Do I need to learn more? There is no failure. You're right. When you take the action, you just find a new way not to do it that way.
And it's not a failure, it's a learning. I know now how not to do it.
And I love Marie Forleo as well. It is figure outable, but if you are stuck in the frame of mind of, oh my God, I can't do that, you just can't do it. You're right. If you can or you can't, you're right.
You're right. Whatever your reality is, you're right. If you feel like you're a failure, you are a failure. If you feel like you're a superstar, you are a superstar.
Absolutely.
Back to your belief, you know.
So we're going to get a little bit more into you, but I also want to make sure into you. That sounds a bit rude. But I also want to make sure, and I'm really curious from my own perspective, is the importance of SEO even for a small business. So, you know, I'm a small business in the scheme of things for sure. And, you know, I have a comprehension of SEO and the importance of it. But I know that you now are helping smaller businesses as well as the bigger businesses that you work with. And you're doing it more in a kind of a group arena, if you like. And you're teaching people the importance of being found via SEO on Google websites. I can't even do it justice. So could you give us a bit of an overview of that and some tips maybe as to how people can start doing it?
Yeah, 100%. So when it comes to smaller business owners, I have a huge passion to help them, more so because the smaller business owners are the ones that end up, how do I say it in a nice diplomatic way? They're the ones that usually get ripped off, and they're the ones that get taken advantage of when they don't have the expertise or like level of knowledge that is required to make an empowered decision around their marketing, especially digital. So I created a program specifically to educate smaller business owners so that they don't fall into the traps that most smaller business owners fall into. And the reason why I know that is the case is because I've worked with hundreds of smaller business owners that have been in that position, that had not known what to look out for, or had not known where to go next, and went straight, put all their eggs in one basket. Here, shut up and take my money kind of an attitude. Don't need to know anything else. And then their expectations have not been met. So for me, SEO is the backbone of what your business is in terms of your digital presence online. It's kind of like your website is your shop front. And literally, if you opened up a new shop, most people wouldn't know about that shop. You need to promote that shop. So your website is your shop front online, but nobody's going to know about your website unless you promote the website. You know what I mean? So promoting it is through a means of SEO. So when it comes to SEO, a lot of clients of mine and people, anyone that has a website, make sure you avoid those people that say, I can help you rank on Google, I can help you this, because everyone gets hit with that spam and it's not correct, and it's a robot sending out loads of emails like to everyone that is indexable on the internet and on Google. And what happens in that instance is people fall into those traps and they end up being wound up with a company overseas, and their website ends up being penalized. So being penalized means not doing best practice SEO. Okay. So when I talk about best practice SEO encompasses both on-page, off-page, and technical SEO. So if people say, oh, I've done a blog content, I do my SEO myself, that's not SEO. If people say, oh yeah, I got a link there from another page, like from another website, that's not SEO. SEO is literally a whole host of deliverables from an on-page perspective. Like content is part of on-page, but making sure that all your meta descriptions are up to date, all your meta titles, all your metadata, in terms of some of the pages that are on your website most likely will be missing a lot of that metadata. Making sure that when you mention one of your services within your website, that you can actually hyperlink that onto another page on your website where they can read all about that. So it's called internal linking. Like uploading regular blogs, but making sure that they have metadata, making sure your website, your homepage of your website mentions all your services, so that because when Google indexes your site, your website's homepage is the most powerful page of the entire website, as well as the SEO campaign. Other quick wins that you could look at, because obviously there's a whole extensive way, but on page as well, and user journey experience falls into that. So, and having enough conversion points. So I bang on about this if anyone follows me, about having enough conversion points on your website. So I see every single time I take on a new client, you will be surprised about them not having conversion points. Conversion points is having a phone call, an email inquiry form in the top right hand corner, and a sticky booking form on every page, so that if anybody is coming on your site, that they don't have to go contact us to find you.
Yes.
If you have your phone number in the top right hand corner and your email inquiry form, what actually happens is you make it easy for the end user to reach you. So if you make it hard and you make it like a lot more time consuming, chances are your traffic is going to bounce off. So they're not going to, you might get loads of traffic, but they're not converting because you haven't made it easy for them. And another problem I see is like on desktop, people make all these lovely, sexy designs for desktop. And then they're like, have you seen what your website looks like on a mobile
phone? Yeah.
Like it is honestly like such a problem, because it's like there's like text over people's faces. There's no the conversion points that they may have had on desktop aren't even on mobile, and the majority of traffic in this day and age, unless you're very much B2B, is mobile. But again, optimizing for mobile should always be the preferred way of thought, given that content consumption's doubled since last year. So that is definitely things that people need to consider, because, and then obviously setting up Google Analytics so you can actually track all that data coming through. Off-page SEO can be all your links that are driving traffic to your site. So you can actually, you can do articles on Medium that drive your traffic back to your site. You can do like Google My Business optimization, listing, citations. What else can you do? You can actually purchase some off-page links as well, and in an automated process as well. And then for technical SEO, this is something that a lot of people miss. So technical SEO is making sure that your website's code is optimized for Google. So again, you'll be surprised by every single client I take on, technical has failed. So technical SEO is like a third of doing SEO the right way. Do you know what I mean? So if that third is only, and two of those thirds of say on page and say off page of what traditionally people do, what happens is you're missing a whole category of doing SEO the right way by what Google wants you to do. So it's a huge, it has been a huge, I wouldn't say issue, but like it's something that we've had to turn around for every new client we've taken on board, even they've done SEO before. Some clients that I've inherited have been penalized because it was outsourced to a company overseas, and they just spammed loads of backlinks, like loads and loads of negative backlinks. But again, when it comes to having loads of negative backlinks, what happens in that instance is that it doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to benefit from them. The negative links, it's kind of like, do you know how they say,
what's a negative backlink?
Just negative backlink would be like a spammy backlink, and they're just adding loads of links to try and trick the search engine. Google is a lot smarter than what people realize. So you can't trick the search engine. Like pretty much, if you try to trick the search engine, you'll end up flat in your face, and you will not be found at all on Google. You will be penalized, and you will be literally disavowed. The website won't be appearing. But I've seen this as a huge problem. So again, those negative backlinks, to give you guys an understanding, is that when we're talking about backlinks, we're talking about, if you know that analogy, you are the sum of the 5 most people you spend time with.
Yes.
Yeah. So again, if all of those friends that you have are really kind of not in the best interest of you, you'll end up not in the best position. So again, if you have a whole host of negative backlinks that are not doing you any favors, the thing is you're actually inheriting the negativity of those links onto your website. Does that make sense? Because
Yeah, it's influencing you by how it's like you're hanging out with a bad crowd, so you're going to get a bad name whether you're
100%, whether you did anything wrong or not.
What about, does it add to, so we're seeing a lot about video, for example, so does it add to the SEO reading or Google reading to have a video on your homepage, for example, or other pages?
Yes, once it's not going to reduce the speed on your site. So if the speed, if it makes your site a lot slower to load, it's really not good, because one of the main algorithms that were released on Google in May was page experience update. So part of that is page speed, user journey experience, HTML coding, all of the necessary things that Google needs in order to pass that algorithm pretty much. And if your website video is very clunky and it actually makes it a bit slower, then definitely need to get that checked out. But there are ways of compressing them. So
I was going to say, and making sure you don't store it onto YouTube in order to do it on your website, because there's a time and a place to do some of that. Absolutely. So, this will be up on YouTube. But for a website, I would imagine not storing it on YouTube, because that would actually pause it a little bit too, wouldn't it?
Not necessarily. I'd have to come back to you about that. But again, video is the way people are getting to get, like, I suppose when it comes to video, people are learning more and more about who you are through video, and they can actually make a connection with you, given that they have never met you. And the way the world is at the moment, we're all socializing digitally, and we're networking digitally, and it's great. But again, at the same time, people need to be aware of, like, content is one thing and pushing out like posts and all that, which is great, but the newsfeed is really flooded. So again, video, and that's your forte, video is a really good tool to use.
Well, I actually got an email, I just put up a post about it, that a video I had put up on my YouTube channel, it was to script or not to script, it was just a 3-minute video where somebody, another company has asked me if they could please share my video on their Instagram and LinkedIn page, because it's really relevant to their audience. And I go, huh? And I do not know anything about SEO. I'm not even pretending, but I do know how to get the videos ranked in YouTube using keywords.
Yes, and that can ultimately, as well, when you put your website within YouTube, you'll drive traffic automatically into your website as well.
Yeah.
So
it's fascinating stuff. It's the stuff I never knew before I got into business. It's like,
I'm very proud of you. Like, in all fairness, so proud of you. Like, honestly,
the grey hair granny.
That's my auntie you're talking about.
So what do you think, or what would you attribute to the biggest factor that has helped you be successful? Like, what is that? Is it a parent? Is it your own drive? What is it?
Honestly, like, it is consistency, but it's a bit deeper than that. So for me, growing up, my mom and dad split up when I was really young. So my mom raised me and my 2 sisters on her own, and worked serious amount of jobs to keep our roof over our head in a very good area. And I saw her struggle, and I didn't really get to see a whole lot of my parents growing up. And for me, the reason why I am successful today is, like, my whole driving force is I want to set up my business to be the best that I can be, so that my kids don't have to struggle, that won't see me struggle to keep the roof over their head, and that I can give them the best life. Not saying that I didn't have a great life with mom and dad. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that my enough is enough moment, as they call it, was like being a child and knowing that I would have loved to have had my mom and dad around me a bit more as a child and guide me a bit more, but they were so busy working and mom and dad weren't together. And I think every child, deserves, like, having their parents show them. And again, even though mom has done a great job, it, like, every child should have their parents around as much as they possibly can in those crucial times of their lives. And I think there are no accidents. And my mom is an incredible person, like, incredible woman. And she's, like, I think that is where I've got a lot of my drive from as well with my mom, because I saw her bring up 3 girls on her own and work so many jobs, and, like, was never taking no for an answer. So I've got my drive there. But I think as well, I've also brought that passion into my business, because the business owners that I deal with I want to take the stress out of it so that they don't have to work so hard to make ends meet. I want to make sure that they can work smarter, not harder, so that they can spend more time with their loved ones and
with theirs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
and I love that when you say there's no accidents, because you're so right, because that driver, and look, at the end of the day, and I totally get it, but as kids, it's no negativity to parents, to anyone else or anything. It's what, as a child, we made it mean in that moment. I was the youngest of 5 girls. We lived in a 2-bedroom house, you know yourself, in Ireland, a little terraced house. And we never wanted for anything or anything like that. But for me, I never knew where I fitted in, because the other 4 sisters had always bloody done everything. So I was the last one coming in and go, where I can't jump the step like they can. I can't do that. So I became a big shit stirrer, but that's a whole other story.
Yeah, it's interesting. But I was also a middle child, so I also struggled to figure out where I fitted in. And a middle child of 2, like 1 baby and 1 older, I found that incredibly challenging to fit in as well.
Yeah.
So I guess,
and it's interesting because I have 3 children, so I have a middle child, and it's quite interesting. And I was a single mom for many, many years. And I actually worked in an Irish bar and I was afraid of my life to arc up too much or anything, because then I wouldn't have the money to pay for the roof over my kid's head. And I now can look back in what you're saying. It's quite funny, because I didn't spend the time with my kids that I wanted to, because I had to work 60 hours a week. But then that was a pusher from my old stuff. But anyway, so what throughout business and everything, we always make some challenging decisions. And what's one of the hardest decisions you've ever had to make in business?
For me, was firing a client, and that is not something I take lightly. I think for me, we're the type of person I am. Like, I have no time for nonsense, and I'm a straight shooter. Say it like it is. If I don't feel like smiling, I won't smile. If I don't like you, I don't like you. That's just Not everybody likes Coca-Cola, and I don't care. Like, that's kind of how I am, you know. And I've learned to own that, and we don't need to fit in with the crowd. It's totally cool. But I think for me, like, in order for my clients to make sure I could get the best results for them, is making sure that we align on values. So obviously, when you're starting out in business, you are faced with those decisions on whether to take on clients, or some clients or not. And there was this one particular client that I was like, I'm not sure if they're going to be a right fit for me, because like they're mirroring 3 of the values, but not all of them. So trust, respect, loyalty, integrity is my values. And everyone that works for me mirrors those values. All of my clients mirror those values, and they see us as a team unit rather than working against us. Otherwise, it just creates more work for us, inefficiency. Then our retainers mean like our business model ends up costing us more than what it's worth. So it's so important that those values are the right fit for us, you know. So for me, it was like literally not like I was already like covering all my overheads, and I was like, you know what, long term, this is not why I started my business. I didn't start my business to work with somebody that is being disrespectful. So like, I have to make that decision, be like, I think you're great, I wish you all the success, but you're not for me. And then as soon as you say those things, it's kind of like, oh no, but I want to work with you. I'm like, no, unfortunately, like, my morals are too high. I respect myself enough to know what I deserve and what I don't deserve. It's like breaking up with a relationship.
It's not you, it's me.
It's not you, it's me. Like, my standards are too high. You can't give me what I need, kind of a thing. But that was honestly, it was very hard, because like, obviously you're challenged with, but it's firing a client, but my reputation is everything to me, and I don't want to be working with nasty clients that ring you all hours of the night and don't respect your boundaries, and just because they pay you money think you're going to take like remarks or nasty stuff from them. That's just not how I roll. I've enough to know my ideal clients is who I want to work with. I don't want to work with everyone, you know. I have no interest in serving the masses. I just want to have that niche that we gel with, and we're all on the same page, and let's go. That's
and then it becomes so much easier, as you say, when you can understand your values. And it was one of the biggest things that I did, was to actually work out what they were, to put a name on them. And if I'm totally honest, I was always about being authentic. That was a big thing for me. but I wasn't actually being authentic because, as you would know, through maybe it's the Irish culture or whatever, sometimes we put a face on it and pretend everything's okay. And I worked out, it was around the time actually my sister was ill and then passed away, that cracked me open enough to allow the real authentic self to come out and go, I don't care what you think about me anymore. This is who I am, and like that's straight talk. And so to be able to put a label on the values and to sit in that certainty of knowing what they are is actually huge. So well done that you can do that.
Thank you. Well, I honestly am a firm believer, like the more you are, you know who you are, and the more individual you are, and own that and know that we're not meant to be like everybody else. The more that you will attract what your heart's desire, the more clear you are, and the more your own bestie, your own best friend, the less likely you are to be influenced by your outside world. Like that is what's been a game changer for me. Like there has been so many times of uncertainty for me, and I'm like, oh, should I really do this? I don't know. But then it's kind of like each time you do like a Facebook Live, or you'd be like, oh, boom, I got a new client. And then you start seeing momentum. And then all of a sudden you start seeing all these people they haven't seen in years come out of the woodwork supporting you. And like, oh, wow. Like, you know, it's kind of like, it's like that moment of like, it's really like heartwarming to know that you've just surpassed your ego's beliefs. You know, you've like tricked your brain and like, thank you, ego. You're trying to protect me, but I'm not going to die here. I'm fine. I just need to do it. Feel the fear and do it.
And I always think of it, there's a difference between the aware ego and just your ego. And our ego's job, the only job it has is to take care of us. But when you're aware, like you're saying, and go, thank you, I'm going to give it a go anyway. And it sounds weird because I do that. I talk to myself all the time and go, what's this self? That's my controller coming out. Hang on a minute. We're just going to let that one go. And in these uncertain times, that has been the biggest challenge of all. So
that's something I've struggled with as well.
I know, I know, because we don't want to.
And it's like perfectionism. This needs to be perfect, but like perfect is literally not even real. It's done is better than perfect.
That's my mantra all the time. Done is better than perfect. I get my members of our group all the time coming back to me. That's right, Carmel. Done is better than perfect, isn't it? Yes. Because then we can give the feedback. Then we can find out. Like we have people making videos and things like that, and they're scared to make them. And we're going, I don't care what it looks like. Make it. Now we can tweak it. Now we can change the images. Now we can do a little bit. But if you don't make it, I can't. It's like you're putting a gag over my mouth. You can't do it. So tell us, what are some of your success habits? So like in order to be in business for any length of time and to maintain it, and more than that, be successful, there has to be some kind of a routine or structure that you have put in place to nurture you. What is that?
Oh, you know what it is? Like, I just feel like I dream a lot, like, and I have goals that I set. So like when I say dream, I'm like, imagine, like this is like the conversation that happens over dinner with my husband most nights, like imagine this, and he's just like, yeah, and then you can do this and that. So anyway, my point is like dreaming bigger than where you are already, like setting the benchmark of where you are now versus where you can go. Because I think when we're looking at, you know, what success means, like, and what success habits and all those sorts of things, there has to be a certain fuel in the machine in order to get you where you want to go. So you have to recheck, okay, what am I doing here that is stopping me from getting from A to B? And whatever is stopping you, you need to identify that and remove that out of your life. Otherwise, you'll be forever stuck. So I think it's more to do with, okay, in order for me to get from point A to point B, there is something that the very, very successful people in the world are doing that I'm not aware of. So find those people, model what they do, and all of a sudden you're like Marie Forleo.
That's exactly right. So and on a personal side of it, like, do you have that? For me, for example, I get up at mostly 6 a.m. I'm out working by 6:30. Then I come back and I do a bit of meditation, which was very hard for me at first. And I write, because that will set up my day. I feel grounded. So do you have some kind of habit like that?
So I used to be an early morning person until I owned a business. And what happens is I'm like a night owl. My brain goes tick, 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 tick. And I'm literally, when I'm asleep, I'm doing a whole day's work on my mind.
Yeah.
Like I'm responding to comments at nighttime because I'm addicted to like, oh, I need to make sure that they know that they're valued,
Yeah.
their comments are valued and stuff like that. So for me at nighttime, I then like read every night. I read mindset books every night before I go to sleep. I do my angel cards. Like I'm big into my angel and my inner divinity, and meditation every night. I use the Calm app every night. I love my coast walks. I'm very much a hippie at heart. Like I'm totally a beach babe. Like if I could literally work in my jammies and wear and have no makeup, that would be me ideal. Like I just love active wear on the weekend. If you ever
Yeah.
meet me, I'm not dressed up at all. Um, but again, to me, also mindset. I listen to a lot of mindset videos. So if I'm in a funk, I'm like, okay, if I don't change this, I'm going to have a shocking day. Or if I wake up at the wrong side of the bed, I'm like, okay, I need to center myself now. Like what is going on for me right now? Like, and I literally need to identify that and change it. But I do a lot of yoga as well and meditation. I go to the gym. But I think it's all about taking care, like eat really nutritious food. Like I don't smoke. I haven't really drank since February. It actually affects my sleep more, and it doesn't make me be the best that I can be. So I'm not a huge drinker at all anymore either. And I feel like it gives me a lot more energy. And surrounding myself with like-minded people is a huge one. Definitely. Especially when you don't have the people, if you don't have the people around you like saying, oh, keeping you accountable. Like I have 4 coaches that I work with as well that have literally allowed me to get to where I am now. And that's really important, having somebody to hold you accountable to what your goals are.
Yeah, absolutely. So we're coming close to the end, but I've a couple more questions. I know we could talk for hours. So what is the best advice you could give somebody that has never started with SEO, for example? What's the best, like, just if they're going, I hear what you're saying, but where the bloody hell do I start? What would be the number one thing that you would say, this is what you need to look at?
I normally don't do this, but I think everyone's situation is very unique to where they're at. And I think SEO is usually something that happens when you have budget to spend into your online and like presence. So to start with SEO, I normally don't do this, but again, if you wanted to give the link in the comments, I'm happy to chat to any of your listeners about what they can do, because each of their situations is going to be unique, and I'll be able to give them a live report on their domain while I'm chatting to them, and then I can be able to give them some options about what they can do. Oh,
beautiful. That's very generous gift. We'll make sure that we put that in the comments both on YouTube and in here.
No problem. Again, in terms of getting started with SEO as well, like you have to have a minimum of 800 to 900 words on your like when you're writing content, blog up to date. You need to have a really good functional website. Stay away from Squarespace. Very hard to optimize. So WordPress website all the way. Because that is what preferred.
WordPress, well, there. That is a tip, because that's something I get asked a lot. Is when I do Wix or blah blah, and I'm going WordPress, and if you get somebody to build it for you, make sure you have access to it too. So complete access
and install analytics on the website in the back end. So just get a developer so you can actually start monitoring the traffic. Those would be the biggest things to get started when you're like not knowing where to go or what to do. Do not build a Squarespace website or a Wix website because they look sexy doesn't mean they're going to work properly. Awesome. Without an engine. That's
cool. So, and tell me, just getting back slightly, and then I have one more question after this. No, I haven't. I have 2 more questions after this. So on the importance of, as you know, I do a lot of video. But from what you're seeing, not just SEO, from what you're seeing in the digital space, because I've put out some stats and I'm kind of asking to get it, I guess, from the horse's mouth, that where do you see video going in the next 12 months?
Honestly, if you've seen the updates on Instagram, like Instagram is preferring video content over like text and images, it's no longer just a pretty picture platform. And so definitely video, I think people can feel you more. Like I think it's very easy, and I know I did it. I went through a lot of personal stuff this year, and I know that I was posting and people were responding, but I didn't even feel that authentic because I had stuff that was really going on behind the scenes. But again, if you show up on video and you have I was going to say Leroy, but I won't.
I know what you mean.
But if you have the belief in yourself and you're frightened of going live on Facebook, like, I think just do it. Like, as in video, it gives you people a snapshot into knowing who you are and get to know you, and build a relationship with you. And it's like, oh my God, she likes that, I like that too, and you have these connections that you make of people that you can actually relate to, because I think that's
she's just like me, or whatever.
She's just like me. Like, people will buy from people they know, like, and trust. So I think when it comes to video, people can really get a good sense of what you're all about, but not many people go on video because they're afraid of what they sound like, what they look like, what people are going to think. They feel naked, and honestly, I've been there.
And people don't care after 5 minutes. And it was the head of Instagram. He actually said people want to be entertained.
Yes,
that's the biggest thing. And in this present climate we find ourselves in, and I know I'm a devil for doing it too. I'll watch 2 and 3 minute videos. And that's the thing, like, whether it's a Facebook Live, and some people hate Facebook Lives, well, that's okay. You can still make a really relevant marketing video that is relevant to your audience and can still engage them because you put a bit of humor in it. I have one of the videos, and the guy is counting money, and he reaches over to his little dog, and his dog licks his finger while he's still counting the money. It's just a bit of fun and a bit of whatever, but to grab 100%, some attention.
You've hit the nail on the head. I think, like, I'm so exhausted, like, from people trying to sell me stuff. People reach out to me on LinkedIn about all the proposals that they have for me, or how we can work together. Or people are hounded on Facebook, buy my thing. Instagram, this is what I have for sale. This is their promotion. Nobody cares. What can you do for them? And it's about, like, putting yourself in the shoes of your target customer, and how can you make their life easier?
Yeah.
But it's not about you. And
no. Awesome.
Yeah.
And I mean, I put one of the things I put on YouTube, like, if you look on YouTube, it has a lovely little picture on it, and it's about a marketing campaign. But if you actually click on the video, it's a Facebook Live where I'm turning the camera around and physically showing them my whiteboard and how I did it, and blah, blah, blah. And it got so much feedback on it. But it is actually a Facebook Live, but it's content. It's what is content relevant to exactly what they want.
And it's real,
so it's
and
awesome.
It's who you are, and you're relatable. And I think when people do videos, what happens is the masses put you on this pedestal, like, oh, there's someone special, I could never do that. I'm just a normal person. You're just a normal person. Like, stop making it about you. Get over yourself.
It's about the people you can help. That's so key. So if anyone wanted to contact you, other than, we're going to put the link in for an appointment, if they wanted to contact you, whether it's LinkedIn, Facebook, or wherever, how is the best way for them to do that, Sonia?
I probably, like, a lot of people follow me on Sonia the Search Queen. My agency is the Marketing Republic. We're currently rebuilding the site at the moment. But if they wanted to search to contact me, I can give you the link to my calendar, and they can book directly in for a one-on-one 30-minute Zoom chat, if that would work. Do you want me to give that to you now?
Well, no, you can put it in when we're finished. You can pop it in the comments, and I'll make sure that it goes to all the other comments.
But Sonia, the Search Queen, I'm on Instagram, or the Marketing Republic is my agency. But again, we're revamping all of that at the moment. But Sonia the Search Queen on Instagram, or Sonia Patutsky Raymond on Facebook. Yeah.
Awesome. Now, one last question, and I always like to ask my guests this. If you weren't doing what you're doing right now, what would you be doing instead?
I think I would be, so I'm an amateur DJ. I play the decks. So I love dance music. Like, I've been a huge fan for years.
Is it kind of duff, duff, duff? What I would call duff, duff, my age group?
A bit of a chorus, like, the 90s dance tunes, like Robin, you got to show me love, all those old songs. Love all that. But again, like, I really like music, just lights me up. So I feel like I do take DJ lessons. I know how to play the decks. I've played at a few parties, but I think I would definitely pursue that a bit more if we
Right.
weren't in a pandemic, and I would probably be headlining Ibiza. So, so that's what I would love. That's my passion though. Like I literally love dancing, and I was used to be an all-Ireland hip hop and freestyle champion back in the day. So it's in my blood.
Yeah.
I love to do, but that or writing books really. Like I think
Yeah.
that's my next endeavor. I want to write a book. Yeah. And
Did
like
you say you used to do hip hop dancing and freestyle,
yeah,
was it?
I danced on MTV in 2003.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I used to do ballroom and disco.
No
I actually
way.
won a disco dancing competition.
Why that would be an event?
Years.
Let's have a dance
Yeah.
party.
To Ra Rasputin. Oh my God, never mind. A whole other story.
I'll say
Sonia,
bring the crowd.
Radio. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you here. And I'll make sure that this goes up on YouTube. So if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe so that we can see some more. And any questions that come in afterwards on social media, we'll make sure that we answer them that way. Thanks so for now, it's my pleasure. It's bye for me.
Bye, Auntie Carmel.